What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kenneth, Mr. Smell Good 803. We're back here with another video today, and in today's video, we're going to be wrapping up the review of Azzaro Solarissimo Collection. Now, if you guys remember part 1, we took a look at Lavanzo. Part 2, we took a look at Farignana, and now today, we're going to be finally taking a look at Marettimo. But as always, before we even get that started, your boy just has to take a moment and thank everybody who's been coming by the channel, watching the videos, your likes, your subscriptions. To all my new subscribers, thank you guys so much for subscribing. For those who've been leaving comments, I try to make sure that I interact with you guys on every comment and remark. And for even people who've been hitting me up outside of the YouTube space, on social media, your encouraging words, and it really means so much. Trust me, it really means a lot. So thank you guys so much for your engagement and walking with me through the journey as we build this channel, Mr. Smell Good 803. And as I always say, if this is your second or third time coming through and you hadn't hit that subscribe button yet, it's absolutely free, okay? It doesn't cost you anything. If you like the content your boys is putting out here, just hit that subscribe button for me, okay? Subscribe, notification bell, like, all of these things. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps me out with YouTube's algorithm to get the channel out there a lot more, okay? But thank you guys so much for what you're doing already. And if this is your first time coming through the channel, thank you guys for checking out the video. Hopefully there's some content that you like and you'll come back for some more, all right? Now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, let's get down to the review. This is our final one from Azzaro Solarissimo Collection, and this is Marettimo. And once again, I just love these classic looking bottles from Azzaro. You know, doesn't look overly cheesy. They look good sitting on your shelf or on your cabinet, wherever you may have your fragrances. Very nice, very nice. And of course, like we were talking about before, the coloration of the bottle really is going to indicate to you the scent profile that Azzaro was going for when it comes to this particular fragrance. So with looking at this blue gradient bottle, you're probably thinking aquatic, watery, something like that, and you're absolutely right. Marettimo is definitely what we consider to be a woodsy aquatic fragrance. It is a powerhouse, I'm telling you guys. I mean, right on the very opening, one of the biggest things that I've really enjoyed about this Solarissimo collection as a whole is the use of citrus and how great that they have blended the different citrus notes on all three of these fragrances. And Marettimo is no exception. At the very top, I've got a burst of lemon and citron, which is another citrus type fruit, very close in that lemon family. In the middle, you've got seawater and Haitian vetiver. And then on the base, you've got cedar and labdanum. Now, all of these combinations really work well with how they blended everything, because once again, on the opening, I'm catching that invigorating feel of citrus. But very soon, I already get the seawater. I can smell that seawater. I mean, it's almost like, you know, being on the beach first thing in the morning, and I'm just envisioning the sun rising out on the horizon, and you can smell that seawater just coming in. That's really just the feeling that I get just on the very opening of smelling Marettimo. The citrus blend with the seawater is amazing. It's very energizing. It wakes you up. It really does just kind of wake you up. It's invigorating. But the one thing that I really like how Marettimo has done is how they blended in that cedar and Haitian vetiver together to kind of mellow everything out. A lot of fragrances nowadays would be really considered to be unisex, with just the how the fragrances are put together, the type of oils that they use, even the notes that they use. And a lot of fragrances kind of lean towards being more unisex. I would definitely say Marettimo leans towards more of a masculine feel, especially with the blend of the cedar and the Haitian vetiver. Now, when I say masculine, I'm not talking like Old Spice Brute kind of masculine, just like 70s, 80s kind of masculine, because cedar and vetiver were very heavily used in those fragrances in the 80s and in, even in the 70s and sometimes in the 90s. But the way that they blended it was much more heavier. It was just very much more in your face. This blend is much more subtle, which really works well with those citrus notes and even the labdanum, because with that labdanum you get a slight floral component to this that's not overly feminine, but it lends well with the woods that you're getting with the cedar and then the Haitian vetiver, that earthiness of the vetiver. So this is a really, really well put together fragrance. And I really have to say, I think Marettimo, I kind of go back and forth with Marettimo and Levanzo, just as far as which one of the three are my most favorite. And I don't know, man. It's just that Marettimo is that citrus and that seawater blend is definitely something that I really, really enjoy. And I've got a couple of other aquatic fragrances that I'll be reviewing coming up that really use that seawater or that sea salt note very well, that really give you that beach feel, great summertime fragrance. And I will definitely say Marettimo is going to be right there in that ballpark for great summertime fragrance. Is going to do well in the heat, but compared to, let's just say Fariniana, because of the sweetness of the candy accord on the top, Fariniana can tend to be a little bit too strong to where you don't want to choke yourself out. Although I told you guys on the last video, be mindful of your sprays, but Marettimo's is one of these fragrances that it's kind of hard to overspray. Not saying that you can't, but it's kind of hard to, because you don't feel like you're missing anything after you put those few sprays on. You really are enveloped in the fragrance to where you don't feel like you have to keep going. And with Marettimo, it's a fragrance that's going to last you throughout the entire day. No joke. And I'm talking, 12 plus hours on skin for me with Marettimo. And for the price point of $35, how can you complain about that? I mean, really, how can you complain about that? All of these fragrances are really meant to be more spring, summer, but I will say that even with cooler weather, there are fragrances that may be traditionally meant for spring and summer that you may want to take a chance on wearing even in cooler weather, because sometimes cooler weather can bring out even certain nuances of fragrances in cooler weather compared to warmer weather. But going back to just how Marettimo performs, it is definitely a great blend. The first hour or so, you're going to really be feeling the citrus and that seawater accord coming together, blending together well. That's going to be for about the first hour or two of the fragrances. As it continues to dry down on skin, you're going to transition now to that more woody, masculine earthiness of that combination of the cedar and the Haitian vetiver, and that labdanum just keeps everything playing well together and keeping it from just really just getting too overly woody to you. And it's just going to keep it very mellow as you go through the rest of the scent on your skin. And once again, it really lasts a long time. I mean, this is, man, I really go back and forth between this one and Levanzo. I really do. But Marettimo is a really great find. It's a really great pickup. I'll have links down in the description of where you can find these fragrances. This collection house, Azzaro, really, I don't think got enough credit for what they really did with this collection. Once again, what they did with the citruses, to me is what stands out and what really kind of puts it in the category of being a great spring summer collection. You really can't go wrong with them. You really can't. You know, they are going to work well in, you know, your everyday work settings, working in the office. These are definitely going to be those types of fragrances that are office appropriate. Now, I would say Lavanzo more so than the other two. Lavanzo is going to be your everyday driver, you know, that everyday wear. I can go down to the office. This is a no-brainer. I can just put this on. I know it's going to be safe for me to wear at work. Now, when it's time to go out and play some, this is when you may want to look at Marettimo and even Farignana. Farignana is definitely going to be one of those sweeter fragrances that may be more appropriate date night. And I can definitely see Marettimo being one of those ones where I'm going down to the beach and, you know, we're just going to kick back in the sand. I want to have something light enough on me, but it still projects for me to feel great and to smell great. Marettimo is going to definitely fit that bill as well. So I can't complain, man. These three fragrances are great. I think you would do well to pick one or all three of these up. Once again, at the price point of $34, $35. I really don't suggest paying much more than that, but on average on discount websites, this is what you're going to go and this is what you're going to see on the pricing for this. Marettimo has been pretty easy to find. They do sell out, and I will just tell you that. Lavanzo, Marettimo were the two that were more popular that you would find on fragrance websites. But they do sell out pretty quickly. And now as we're going into our springtime, building up for people wanting to actually start building their fragrance wardrobe for the spring and summer, they may be pretty high demand on some fragrance websites. But if you see them and you have a chance to pick them up, definitely do so. I have never seen any of these collections in your rack stores, such as your Burlingtons, your TJ Maxx's, your Marshalls. I've never seen these in a rack store. These have been definitely something that you would only find online for me. Now, if you are lucky enough and you find it in a rack store, yeah, you need to go ahead and get that. You really do, okay? But once again, Azzaro Solarissimo Collection, excellent hidden gem collection to pick up, okay? Now, that's it for me with this review. Thank you guys for joining in and watching it. If you pick up one of these, come back to this video and make sure you hit me up in the comment section and tell me what your experience has been with the Azzaro Solarissimo collection. Once again, it's your boy Kenneth, Mr. Smell Good 803, and we're out. Peace.